Hey, Courtney of Bhakti Wellness here. I'm in the awesome Starlit Yoga in Penticton. I thought that I would cover one of my absolute favorite yoga poses, and it's definitely my favorite twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. It's a really wonderful pose, as all twists are, in my opinion, but they really good for just massaging the digestive organs and for kind of stabilizing the energetic body. Brings balance. If you're feeling really low and draggy, it helps to lift you up, but it's the contrary as well. If you're feeling really spun out, then it's really awesome to just kind of recenter, to bring you back down a little bit. And so I'll show you a couple variations of the pose, and I hope that you enjoyed as much as I do. In this pose, I typically like to practice Ardha Matsyendrasana while seated on the ground, just because it allows for you to work into your true range of motion, we'll say. But if you do tend to practice on like the foam chip blocks, then you're most welcome to practice on one of those, or even a folded blanket if need be. With this pose, you'll start with your, let's say, left leg straight, and you'll bend the right knee. And here in this pose, you'll want to bring the outside of the ankle to the outside of the knee, and you'll want to make sure that you root down through the big toe mound of the foot. Okay? And so in this pose, you'll start with this variation with the straight leg. You'll get a little bit more into the hamstrings as well as the hips within this twist. And you want to apply a little bit of traction onto the shin bone below the knee. And the reason why is that it just helps allow for extension through the spine. I'm just going to turn a little bit here. And so when you allow for that tractioning, it just brings the chest closer to the thigh, thigh closer to the chest. You want to continue to root down through the big toe mound of that bent knee. And from here, you'll start to reach up through the crown of the head. You'll bring the right hand back behind you, and I like to bring it to where the sacrum is, and just use your fingertips, and tented on fingertips, start to traction the ground away from the body. Keep the extended leg foot dorsiflexed, so toes drawing towards the body, heel pressing away. Lengthen up through the spine. Now, the most gentle variation would just be to keep the left hand on the right knee and start to twist on your exhales. As you inhale, think of rooting down through the sit bones, extending through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, engage your lower transverse abdominals. So think of drawing below the navel and above the pubic bone, in and up, as you exhale to gain a little depth in your twist. Breathing here, you'll want to hold, say, for 6 really nice breaths. That just allows the body time to kind of stabilize within the pose. Okay. Some people would like to go deeper, and I'll reset up in a second just to show you where you can go within this pose. Know that one day the gaze may come fully over that back shoulder. I always like to bring the gaze forward and then the heart forward to come out of the pose. Now, if you want to go deeper, you're going to bend both knees. Now, the bottom leg being bent, I want you to check to make sure that your hand won't slide underneath your butt cheek. If your hand slides underneath the butt cheek, it's a good indicator that your body's not quite ready for that depth, and it's best to keep the bottom leg straight. So having both legs bent, you'll want to have both sit bones really rooting down into the mat. Extend up through the crown of the head. Again, start to traction on the shin bone to just draw the chest a little closer to the thigh. Breathing here, as you inhale, think of lengthening. Exhale, you can soften slightly. I'll pivot once again to show a little bit. So as you inhale, lengthen, and then bring that hand back behind you. As you exhale, start to twist. Now, to bring a little more depth to the pose, you can hook the elbow on the outside and have your kind of palm rest against the right thigh. So left arm wraps around right knee. Continue to root down through the big toe mound of the right foot, so your top leg. Inhales to lengthen, exhales to twist. Again, gaze goes to wherever's comfortable for you. All right? If you want to find more depth, you might start to bring the elbow on the outside and really use a little bit of counter pressure, knee into elbow, elbow into knee. Again, inhales to lengthen, exhales, gently engaging the lower transverse abdominals to twist a little deeper. To start to play with it a little bit, maybe that left hand extends to the left knee. And then maybe that right hand comes back towards the left hip, and the left hand will sneak underneath the knee and bind at the left hip. Now I'll somewhat come out just to show you what that bind would look like. So left arm on the outside of the right leg, left arm coming underneath to the left hip, right hand wraps around left hip. As you inhale, lengthen, exhales, gently twist. Think of drawing the left hip back slightly as the right knee wants to hug towards the left armpit. And then gently, mindfully release. Bring the gaze through center, heart through center. Definitely do make sure that you do both sides. Important to keep balance within the body, especially if you're trying to level out your energies. I do thank you very much for joining me for this little snippet of Ardha Matsyendrasana. And I hope that you have a really awesome rest of your day. And please do share your smiles. You never know when you might brighten someone's day. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of yours. Thank you so much. Love you guys.